Hi everybody. Welcome to a slightly different New Republic Rhyme video today. I'm going to be talking about the miniatures that made me think, what was Wizards thinking when they designed this? Let me explain what that means. I'm not talking about the worst miniatures of all time, or the ones that got nerfed or ones that got replaced. I'm talking about miniatures that, when they were put out in their initial sets, I think they were, these are miniatures with baffling design decisions. These are ones that I think didn't become worse or weren't decent for their time. These are ones that even when they put them out, it was like, what are you on about, Wizards? How could you think this was good? Let's start. Let's get into it. I'll give you a first example here. The Klatoonian Enforcer. Infamous. Blue Milk hates this piece. I hate this piece. +1 attack. +1 attack. Advantageous attack. 7 points. +1 attack. There are a lot of pieces in Clone Strike and Rebel Storm that are fringers, that are kind of costly, that have like cunning attack or something, that are not very good. But this one really stands out because +1 and advantageous, he's never going to hit anything. He's never going to hit anything. Why? It's baffling. I mean, some of these pieces have ways to get better, but this guy just does not. I mean, the 20 health, even, it's like, +1 attack is bleak. And a lot of the other pieces that have +1 attack have swarm or something. This guy's got nothing. I don't know what they were thinking about when they put this guy together. He is unplayable. Next, Nein Nunb. This guy is, there's some argument about whether he was good or not for Universe era. You could make the case for him on stats alone. But there's no other unique in the game that has no abilities. Why does this guy have no abilities? I understand that they didn't figure out Pilot until a little later, which was unfortunate because the Wedge who gives abilities to Pilot is from this set. But why would you give him nothing? Like, Grenades 10? Gunner? No other unique in the game, as far as I can tell, and I really looked pretty hard, is a unique with no commander effect, force powers, or other special abilities. He has nothing. Why would you do this? Like, what makes him unique if he has no abilities? It's just so sad to not have, like, even Gunner or something. Like, what? I just don't understand it. I don't understand why you would sit down and put a unique out with no special abilities. I guess you could argue that his special ability is 20 damage, but come on, like, even the early Lukes have Force 2 and Impulsive Shot. It's like, it's just like sad. Why would you make a character with no abilities? This is going to be kind of I'm going to talk about a few pieces in one here. These are the characters with ridiculously specific commander effects that do nothing, and affect a small amount of people. And Wizards kept doing it. First, it was Lando Calrissian, who gave allied Bespin guards +2 attack. What? The Bespin guards have terrible stats anyway. +2 attack is nothing. No commander effect ever should give anyone just +2 attack. First off, it's got to be +4 attack, or +2 attack and +2 defense. These guys just get +2 attack, and it's only allied Bespin guards. You could say it's kind of forgiving because it doesn't have to be within 6 squares. And you could say that Wizards was focused on the more role-playing aspects of the game at this time. But, I mean, it's just bleak. Like, allied Bespin guards get +2 attack. Come on. And maybe they were working at the kinks there. And you could say that they were figuring it out. But then they did it again. They did it with Bail Organa in Revenge of the Sith, who, when one or more Alderaan troopers combine fire with another Alderaan trooper, the attacker gets +10 damage. So this is only if Alderaan troopers combine fire with each other. And they gave him the ability Alderaan Senator, so he could count as an Alderaan trooper. And you could still say this is back when they thought the game was kind of RPG-ish, and they thought people would build really themed squads, I guess. I don't know. But he costs 29 points. And his only thing is to make Alderaan troopers better when combining fire with other Alderaan troopers. Like, maybe it would be fine if, like, he made Alderaan troopers a cool, kind of like he gave them, like, spotter-ish and gave them, you know, like rangeless spotter, right? So when they combine fire with a clone or somebody, they grant plus 10 damage. That would be kind of neat and make the Alderaan troopers somewhat useful. He'd still be too expensive for 29 points. That's insane. But, you know, only making it so that Alderaan troopers are better when they combine fire with each other is terrible. And I know they have synchronized fire, and he has synchronized fire. But, like, it's just like, why would you do this commander effect that only affects one piece? And there's some that I'm leaving out here. I don't think Captain Typho is as bad, because he gives people his Naboo soldiers bodyguard, and at least that makes sense in a way where they can throw their lives away, in a watch out Queen Amidala kind of way, even though the Queen Amidala, we'll get to her later. But that kind of makes sense to me. Giving them bodyguard at least means if they're next to somebody, they can take the hit. It's not entirely useless. This synchronized fire thing is terrible. And I give a pass also to Tion Medon for giving double attack only to Utapauans, because the double attack is at least really good. So he makes the Utapauans fairly good. I mean, not great, but at least that ability is so strong that to have it just be narrow is kind of functional. And they added more Utapauans in the game later, so it is not as bad. But these first two are terrible. And then this is the one that really drives me nuts, is this is all the way in Force Unleashed. They did it again, and they did a Star Destroyer officer who characters named Imperial Navy Trooper gain double attack. Now, I know I just said double attack was fine on Tion Medon, but that was a mistake they made very early in the game. That's kind of forgivable. Who, by Force Unleashed, is going to be running squads of just Imperial Navy troopers? Like, by then, they have to have realized the structure of the game and the way it's played, and to realize that this is going to be a piece that nobody's ever going to want to play. They've got to know by that point that no one's going to want to play Imperial Navy troopers because they're not very good. And just trying to do this synchronized fire double attack thing with them is so silly by the era of Force Unleashed. Like, come on. Wizards, how did you still think this was a good idea so late on? It aggravates me. It aggravates me. I'm getting aggravated just thinking about it. My friends. Why would you make this piece? I mean, why would you just... I don't know. I mean, of course the idea of a Star Destroyer officer is cool, but this commander effect is dismal. And then you could talk about the problems later on, you know, with other people who grant rather narrow ones like pilot or pirate. I've discussed that at length, but these commander effects are so incredibly narrow that they apply to such a like, again, only Imperial Navy troopers. Oh my god. This would be better if it was like pilots or something. I mean, that would be great. This guy should give pilots double attack. That would be terrific. I don't know. I mean, that would give a use to pilot, right? Pilot's already a thing. But no, it had to be Imperial Navy troopers. Why? Okay, this guy, very simple, very terrible. The Weequay Mercenary, double attack, melee attack, 10 health. Also, he has Mercenary, which means he can move only if he can't make an attack from his starting space. Why would you ever move with this guy if he can't make an attack from his starting space? He has a double attack with melee Mercenary. What's the point of that? This guy is never going to get in range to do a melee attack, much less stay there long enough to do a double attack. I get that he's 5 points, but oh my god. Why? A 10 health double attacker? What? With melee attack? He's never gonna do anything, ever. And the mercenary is utterly pointless. Is utterly pointless on this character. I just don't understand. It's like just slapping random abilities together, and he's a disaster. He's truly a disaster. I really don't understand what the thinking was. Again, even in Clone Strike early, there's a lot of bad fringers in these first few sets. This guy is absolutely one of the worst. I don't understand. He's got no use in any scenario. A lot of these people have cunning attack or something that makes them, or stealth that makes them useful in some way. This guy is a disaster. You're never gonna use him. We're gonna talk for a second about a piece. I don't talk about sculpts much. I'm not a big sculpts guy, but I hate this sculpt. This is the tie crawler. What? What? Has anyone, if you've ever tried to play with this thing, you know how terrible it is. It is so aggravating to try and move your pieces around the board. I know a lot of the huges are kind of big and poke out over their base. This guy is like nearly 3 times, maybe 4. You could fit 4 bases under him. It's awful. It's awful. It's like unusable on a board. It's unusable. Who sculpted this? What's happening here? Why would you do this to me? Here's his stats. They're not very good either. I mean, I guess they're fine, but what's up with this? Who designed that? Come on, Wizards. Come on. Alright. This is another one that irks me. Everybody here irks me. This is Geonosian Drone. 10 health. Melee attack. +1 attack. Okay, he's 3 points. He's an Ewok without swarm. Why would you ever use this guy? Like, maybe if you need to fill 3 points, he's fine. But just restructure something somewhere to get another battle droid. Like, oh man. I mean, the battle droids are so much better for 1 more point. Because they're so buffable. This guy is not buffable. Virtually no commander effects in the Separatists buff non-droids. There's some, but almost every good Separatist commander buffs droids. And almost exclusively droids. So this guy's terrible. And in fact, the really fun part is that if you put him with Nute Gunray, you can give him -1 attack. Because Nute Gunray gives -2 attack to allies. So this guy can get -1 attack thanks to Nute Gunray. The droids, if you put them with Nute Gunray, don't lose anything because they're droids. This guy, if you put him with Nute Gunray, gets -1 attack. Fantastic. Fantastic piece. Just so good. So good. We're starting to get into the ones that really annoy me. Really annoy me. Let's talk about Padme with Bodyguard. What is the point here? Adjacent followers gain Bodyguard. I guess they can bodyguard her so she can do her double attack. Whoop-de-doo. This is one that is almost like a challenge piece to try to make this CE useful. To try to find a use for it. Mike has some good squads where he tries to do this. Miniatures Mike does. You have to like really work to make her CE useful. Again, definitely a relic from the era where they thought people would be playing more RPG-ish and in scenarios where like you have to assassinate Padme or something. I guess. That's the only possible explanation I can come up with. There's a lot of like bodyguarding in early sets, in ways that are very silly, but this is by far the silliest. Like, and whatever. I can't even think of a use for this one. Mike did watch some of his videos on it. I really think that this is maybe like the worst commander effect in the entire game. Even talking about some of these other bad, super specific ones like Lando and the Star Destroyer Officer and Bale, at least there's a function for them. I can't think of a function for this one without really twisting yourself in knots to make a whole squad out of it. I mean, like, if you just had, you know, Lando or Bale, and you just drew like some packs, and you were like playing, you know, back in the era where people were just playing boosters, right? And you had Lando and Bale, like I did. You could make some fun squads. You know, if you're playing with Lando and some Bespin guards, you could do something. But why would you ever use Padme's commander effect? It's so silly. It's just so silly. Now we're going to talk about what I think is maybe the single most overcosted piece in the entire game, aside from Bale, who could be the most overcosted piece in the game. But this one is dismal, and this one is dismal in a way that should have been so evident when the set came out, and I'll explain exactly why. They have a sick of seltzer here. This is the Dark Side Enforcer. She's 26 points. She's got 80 health, 16 defense, plus 9 attack, 20 damage, double attack, melee attack, force 1. She's some Champions of the Force. Now, you might think, yeah, that's pretty expensive, but not like the most overcosted piece in the game. Pretty overcosted, but not like the most overcosted. No, she is, and I'll tell you why. Because not only does she not really do much, in the same set, in the very same set, you had the Jedi Guardian for 23 points, who has better stats, but also Force 2 and Lightsaber Sweep for 3 less points. She's got better stats, 1 more Force point, and Lightsaber Sweep. Now, granted, Lightsaber Sweep is not like an amazing ability, but she's 3 less points, and she has better stats. Significantly better stats. 3 more attack, 2 more defense, 1 more Force point, and Lightsaber Sweep. And she's 3 less points. What? It gets worse. In that same set, for 26 points, the same point cost as the Enforcer, you have the Jedi Weapon Master, who, yes, also has better stats, but also Lightsaber Duelist, Force 3, Assault, Block, Deflect, Riposte, and Sweep. For the same point cost. Now, the Jedi Weapons Master is arguably undercosted. This is a top tier piece, so I didn't want to use it just as the example one-to-one against the Enforcer. But this is like so silly that they put a 26 point piece that does all this, and then a 26 point piece of the Enforcer that does nothing. The Guardian is like maybe arguably even a little fairly costed, I would say, like 23 for this. The Enforcer should be like 19 or 18. What? Why is it 26? I have almost a suspicion here that this was a typo, that someone copy pasted the Weapons Master and they just didn't notice it. I think it might have happened. I don't know. It's absurd. It's absurd that this character costs 26 points when the standard was obviously set in Champions of the Force that you get so much more for your value. Like, why would you ever want to bring this character in for 26 points when the other factions in that set are able to outduel you for so much cheaper? It's awful. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's a terrible piece. A terrible, terrible, terrible piece. So overcosted. Okay, and now we're going to get to the single most aggravating piece in the entire game for me. a piece that I was so excited to draw when I got the piece out of a booster way back when, in Champions of the Force again, doing a lot of Champions of the Force here. And then when I read the stat card, I was like, what? This is the Hoth Trooper with ATGAR Cannon. Let's think about this for a second here. This is a piece that has the ability Fragile 40. This character can't attack as long as his hit points total is less than 40. Why? Why would you do that, Wizards? Why would you do that? What? No, nobody else ever got that ability, by the way, because it's horrible. But they made a character that has to be repaired back up to usefulness. And now, if this was like a super powered character that had a little drawback, you might think that's worth it. The ATGAR Cannon has 8 defense. 8 defense! 8 defense. This is a piece that can be killed by the Klatoonian Enforcer from earlier. What? 8 defense? Why does it have 8 defense? That's crazy. That's horrible. No. +3 attack? Now, you can boost that, I guess. But +3 attack? 8 defense? The 30 damage and the splash 10 is not very useful when you consider the fact that it will never hit anything. Ever. Ever. You can bring in a ton of commanders to buff this thing, because it is a Hoth Trooper. So it's a Rebel Trooper. So yes, you can bring in a bunch of commanders to buff this thing, thanks to later sets. But it's not worth it. Like, because if you do 40 damage to it, it just breaks. It just breaks. And they put this machinery thing on it, so industrial repair can repair it. Okay. Great. Awesome. Why would you make a piece that is useless when it takes its half health, Wizards? That's not how this game works. Speed 2, terrible. Heavy weapon, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I think if they were to rework this thing today, they would not do the fragile, and they would maybe just give it like 60 health or something. But the fragile 40 is one of the worst abilities in the entire game. I mean, it's an absolute disaster, and it just is painful because effectively the thing has 40 health. Unless you're dedicating somebody with industrial repair to standing in a corner helping it, it's only got 40 health. And with defense 8, even if you put it in cover, that's defense 12. Now, thankfully, again, this is a rebel piece. Riken's out there. The rebel captain is out there. You can give him all sorts of buffs and abilities. It's not a useless piece anymore, thanks to the many incredible rebel commanders that have come after. Okay, it's still kind of a useless piece, honestly, because defense 8. And you have to put this thing, you have to place this thing in a place where it can shoot, because it can't move, and it's got heavy weapon. So you've got to put it right in the middle of the field of battle. Somehow, you've got to get it out there. And then, once it's out there, it's got to sit out there for a turn, unkilled, before it can shoot. I might do a video just on trying to make this thing good, because, like, the idea of having an ATGAR cannon is so cool. And I was so excited when I drew it. But, oh my god. The Fragile 40 thing and the 8 defense is just... it's horrific. It's horrific. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lengthy rant on pieces that aggravate me and baffle me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, may the Force be with you.